So here we are into game number 3 of this 3-game series between dnL and NK. Losers back at round 4, so one of these teams is going to have to go big or go home because this is the last game for one of them in Cycle 10 of Diamond, as it is of course losers bracket, and we are tied up at 1-1. That should be pretty obvious considering this is a game 3, but maybe you didn't realize that for some reason. I do, for some reason, tend to assume that people watching this are kind of stupid. I think it's mostly because during the initial banning phase like this, I have nothing to talk about, so I just start yammering about random crap while I wait for them to finish the bans off. And once again, Ophelia, Pestilence, Cersei, Keeper of the Forest. So, yeah, it's not like we haven't seen that before. I think those are literally the exact same bans we've seen every single game of this series. No, sorry, that's not right, because Pesty was left open. The first game, I believe, was Grinix was banned the first game. And Pesty was first picked by dnL. So, we'll see how that works out for them. Grinix is open, so let's see if he actually gets picked up this game. I wouldn't be surprised if that does actually occur. Swindle's back, so apparently he did all 3 games of the series. I don't know if he's actually casting or if he's just commentating them or what. There's not that much difference between those two things, but certainly he's more informed than I am, so it's probably up on his Twitch page. You should go watch that. Turn this off. You're just silly. I don't even know anything, and instead you're choosing to watch this like a moron. I'm just feeling mean, apparently, for this game. I don't know why. So yeah, there's the Grinix pick. Number 2 for dnL, as they first picked that Parasite. Rather interesting that they value Parasite that highly, especially because Parasite very often will make it even through the second banning stage and sometimes just doesn't get picked up at all. So I guess Zlap really wants to play that Parasite, but that's really strange to me. Not just because usually he makes it through, but because that's just a jungle hero. So like there's no question or confusion on the side of anybody else saying, oh, what are they going to do here with that hero? Where are they going to lane him? What role is he going to play? No, that's going to be Jungle Parasite.
Gauntlet.
And same thing, Grinix Gauntlet as well. So this is the same 3 picks they had for the first game, I think. Parasite, Grinix, Gauntlet, and that went pretty well for them. So let's see if they can make it happen again. Of course, as we talked about then, Parasite and Grinix are both strong heroes, especially when paired together. Of course, Grinix invisibility, allowing him to jump people. Parasite possessing tons of burst damage. Both of them actually possessing quite a bit of burst damage. So the two of them combined can pretty much lock down and take out any hero that's caught out alone. And with Grinix being able to scout using that Riftstock, it's not unreasonable to see him picking up a lot of kills with his buddy Parasite. Gauntlet actually can do a lot as well, especially once he picks up that portal key. And Probusk this game, playing Gauntlet all 3 games, has done quite well with that hero. So I expect to see another good game out of him. But like I said earlier, you know, there's no question what the roles and the lanes are going to be here for dnL. VN Sensation on that Grinix, slapped on that Parasite, Probusk on that Gauntlet, Grinix Suicide, Parasite Jungle, Gauntlet mid. We'll see if Gauntlet gets a babysitter this game. He did last game, he did not the first game. And so I guess that's a bit of a question whether the support hero they pick up here on dnL's side is actually going to be babysitting that or helping, not babysitting, that Gauntlet in middle to get some kills, or babysitting a support hero in that short lane. Could be one or the other. As the 3 picks over here so far for NK, Tundra, Rhapsody, Pebbles, as Tundra gonna get picked up once again. Reasonably successful last game. I don't really think that's why they won, but it's a little hard to tell, of course, because we have God Vision, exactly how much that Hawk is making a difference. And considering they won the last game with the Tundra, it's certainly not surprising they choose to go with that again. The first pick Tundra is, just like the first pick Parasite, a little weird. I'm not sure that dnL would have gone with that. Probusk is known to play a lot of Tundra, so it's possible that they would have decided, you know, let's pick that up. They did well with it last game, we'll take it away from them. So I can certainly see and seeing his reasoning on that. I just think that in most situations a first pick Tundra it would be shocking. Like, that's just what's going on here, that they're first picking Tundra. That's extremely strange. But that's what they're going to end up doing. Pebbles Rhapsody here. as it looks like NK will be forced into a dual support situation as Flensmeister over here making sure to ban the Tempest, try to take away the jungle options. Of course, Wild Soul, War Beast still available, even Blood Hunter if you want to run some non-traditional junglers, but we pretty much never see those heroes run in the jungle, so I expect NK to be in a dual support lineup here. Very possibly Rhapsody Pebbles, especially since that Nymphora is banned out, and Nymphora, one of the few partners of Pebbles that is, highly, highly prized. Like, we're definitely going to take this support here and put him with Pebbles because he makes the most sense. I think Rat Pebbles has a lot of potential for kills with Staccato, Stalagmites, and Chuck. There's a lot of damage coming out there, a lot of stuns, and they should be able to do quite well pretty much no matter where they go. Of course, they could pick up a third support and run a tri-lane with Pebbles. And it really, depending on who they pick up on denial side, I think they should leave themselves open for that, because if it is a solo short laner, running an aggressive tri-lane probably would be a pretty nice thing to do. Tundra in middle by himself, if Gauntlet is going to be dual laned, could have some issues, but shouldn't be that big a problem. Piercing Shards and a Hatchet will let him get some snipes, and he's relatively hard to kill. Of course, again, depends on who that combination hero is in the middle lane, but Tundra in mid would probably do alright, and then of course a Suicide Grinix up against the solo short laner for NK would be okay. So we'll see whether they choose to dual lane mid, and I think in that situation likely dual lane bot, as they have not picked up a Suicide yet, and Bubbles has been banned out on the side of denial, so clearly targeting one of the better Suicide options in that respect, but a few still left, of course. Most notably Wretched Hag. So we'll see where NK goes with this. They have a few options, of course, as they are sort of boxed in that second support role, but of course that doesn't really prevent them from doing that many things. It just prevents them from running a jungler. They still have options. Bans, meanwhile, Nymphora, Tempest, and Bubbles on the side of denial, so making sure that NK cannot run a jungler, getting that Parasite up, and banning out the Ophelia and the Tempest and Keeper of the Forest will not allow... Hey, look, HoNcast is online. Will not allow NK to run anybody in the jungle, so good bans there from Flensmeister targeting that, and of course targeting Nymphora and Bubbles, one role that the HoN team has not filled yet in that Suicide, although of course they could just dual lane it and not go with a traditional Suicide. And that Nymphora, which is a strong companion to Pebbles, of course, providing a stun, providing plenty of mana, so Pebbles can really take control of his lane. First pick on the side of denial is a Master of Arms, and I assume that's going to be Support Master, although of course it could be run in a carry role or a farmer role, so we'll see. As a short laner, I'm not a real big fan of Master of Arms. I think he could probably do alright, but you'd probably need to put a babysit with him, and it doesn't make too much sense in that situation, so I think we're going to end up seeing that Moa support here, which is just fine. Gauntlet hook into a charge shot, or charge shot and into a gauntlet hook, plus Infernal Instability, plus Fork Lightning, or the Acid Bomb will do plenty of damage. That's lots of potential for kill there, so it is going to be a Hag, and that's going to be a solo short Hag. Gauntlet middle with Master of Arms, Grinix, Suicide, and Parasite in the jungle, so there's pretty much no question about that. Denial's lanes aren't quite set. I mean, they could do some stuff and switch it up here, just something crazy, Suicide Wretched Hag, solo mid Grinix or something like that, I don't know, but I fully expect this to be the traditional expected lanes over here on Denial, and they've picked some strong heroes, some heroes that work fairly well together. Of course, lots of gang potential, obviously, Grinix, Gauntlet, Parasite, Master of Arms providing support with that ultimate, and just a strong support hero in general. And Flensmeister with that Wretched Hag providing some burst damage as well. So there's a lot of burst damage here on the Legion side. Not too much teamfight potential, but we sort of saw that happen when the first three picks came out. Gauntlet, Grinix, and Parasite, just not that strong in teamfights. Way too much single target damage, really. Not a lot of spread damage. So Denial looking to be getting some picks and grouping up and pushing when they have a man advantage or a two-man advantage instead of taking full 5-on-5 engagements. Actually, the Hellborn team has a similar philosophy, I think, here. Torture is going to be on the side of Insania. Right, okay, I don't know. For some reason I'm thinking Insania was running the carry for them, and I think it's because Flensmeister's over here in Denial. I was just like, is that going to be carry Torture? That doesn't make any sense. And it wouldn't unless Warbeast was running in the jungle, but it's not. It's going to be a Zive Warbeast, so that's going to be a Suicide. Suicide Warbeast, which is just fine against Wretched Hag. He should be relatively okay, especially if he can get lane control relatively fast. And then we'll see if this is going to end up being a tri-lane. I suspect it won't. I'm going to guess Pebbles, Rhapsody top, Torture, Tundra middle, but we'll see. They could obviously run Pebbles, Torture, that's just fine. 2 AoE stuns, and then the Chuck, of course. Plenty of damage there, plenty of kill potential. Rhapsody, Tundra would also be just fine. But we'll see what happens. I do expect Pebbles to be short-laned and Tundra to be in the middle, but obviously both of those could change as well. Walk and Courier are going to be down here. It was a little risky. Legion had been there to engage. They might have lost their Courier. But it looks like Hellborn is going to get a couple of wards down here in the Legion jungle and do an effective job of shutting down this Parasite's 2 most valuable camps, the hard camps. And they'll get a ward here as well to scout out where exactly he's going on the Legion side. Just make sure that they can try to protect Parasite in that jungle. Of course, it's not going to be very effective because he's going to be up here in this camp a lot and in the pole camp, so they won't be able to do too much with that Legion ward, I don't think. Ward of Sight gets dropped here in the jungle as well. And yeah, Denial's doing the weird stuff like I said. So they're going to run a solo short Grinix, a Suicide Hag, and the typical dual support lineup in the middle, as actually Pebbles is pulling the wave down here as Hellborn's doing some similar stuff. It is not going to be a Suicide Warbeast. It's going to be Pebbles Rhapsody on bot and Les QQ solo Tundra middle with Insania and Zibe up top. So this is really, really strange, especially because Warbeast is never dual laned. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a dual laned Warbeast for a really good reason. I think as Hag can take a bunch of harassment here from Torture. And both of them are going to take actually a bunch of damage for that matter. So Flensmeister here going to play the Suicide Hag. I would not be surprised to see lanes switch up a little bit here, as I think at this point, I mean, Hellborn does have a pretty significant laning advantage. This is sort of like a Suicide solo Grinix and a Suicide Hag. They're sort of really suiciding 2 lanes there. As Parasite's going to be in the opposing jungle, going to grab a Minotaur here, and probably look to come in for a gank onto Tundra. And this is going to be Tundra's in trouble here. There's a Minotaur Stomp. There it is. Where's the hook? There it is. Actually going to get over the cliff, so I'm not sure that was the intent. But the charge shot in a second. There it is, and now Tundra's dead. Nope, maybe he's not. In fact, he's not. So I don't know if Gauntlet meant to hook himself over the cliff like that. I kind of have to imagine he didn't, because I think if he had been under the cliff, that would have been an easy kill, especially without the tower doing too much, because then you would have had Parasite above up here and able to cut him down, or cut him off trying to come up the ramp, and then of course coming over the side would have been coming back into Master of Arms as well, so Tundra would basically have had nowhere to go. And instead, he manages to just live, getting a couple of CS with those piercing shards. So, doing what he can in this mid lane, but Probusk certainly taking the advantage as he has a Master of Arms to support him here. And he is up to 9 and 8 CS compared to Tundra's 3 and 0, so certainly winning, not a surprise at all there. On bot 5-0 for Grinix versus Pebbles and Rhapsody, 13 and 6 on Pebbles, 0 and 4 on Rhapsody now. So dominant control of this bot lane here in favor of the Hellborn side, and of course they're really winning 2 lanes, 5 and 2 Wretched Hag up here on top, compared to a 16 and 9 Warbeast and a 0-0 Torturer. So Flensmeister getting boxed out here to some extent, as well as, oh shit, on bot. BN Sensation falls. Dance Floor, Shock, Staccato Stuns, yep, there it is. So like I said, you know, Rhapsody and Pebbles, lots of kill potential. VN Sensation finds that out firsthand. But, of course, the thing is here, when you're running a jungler like they are with this Parasite, you don't have to win 2 lanes, you have to win 1 lane. And that's what they're doing, they're winning middle. So even though the Hellborn have an advantage here It's mostly off that Bloodlust kill. There is some slight lane advantage here as well, but not that much. Leech and everything really on Pebbles, and he's in a lot of trouble here. He has no mana to do anything, so neither does Rhapsody. And this is likely going to be a dead Pebbles. He's just trying to skirt his way through with the trees. Not going to happen. So Haxred falls down here. As he tries to pull off Mad Jukes, but is unsuccessful. Master of Arms grabbing the top rune. It is an illusion as Tundra heads bot. It was in order to pick up a refreshment. Probusk on this Gauntlet, just free farming middle once again, as Flensmeister up top has gained some lane control. This will get him some nice levels, and a couple of CS for that matter. Chain Reaction stun there though, taking some damage, but Torture draws the tower aggro. And certainly he's not very happy about that. Meanwhile on bot, Pebbles and Rhapsody coming in once again. Pebbles back to full mana, has plenty of ability to kill this Grenex, but not enough to die to the tower. Instead going to try to go on Parasite. That's also not going to happen, so now Grenex knows exactly what's going on down here and will be able to avoid stuff. Flensmeister, meanwhile, helping to pick off Warbeast up here with Master of Arms Illusion, so nicely done there. And that's actually going to be a pretty big deal. 230 GPM now on Hag compared to the 230 of Warbeast. So, you know, that's the situation I was talking about. With one gank, if you can have the same farm as your opposing hero in a 2v1 situation, then that's effectively winning that lane. Because now you've forced the other team to commit this Torture up here for the first 5 minutes of the game, and that's done nothing. Now Torture is going to die. Chain reactions are going to miss. Nice sidestep there, and Flensmeister will get a second kill. Meanwhile on bot, VN Sensation going to fall once more. Just the stun chuck combination, but the dance floor actually is what kills him. So tank of that well done. As the Legion side now has picked up a slight advantage with the 3-2 hero kill lead. And Master of Arms, it seems, is going to be sitting up here with Hag, trying to get her some farm, get her some more control of this lane. And she already does have plenty of control, of course, now out farming this Warbeast. Rhapsody coming in looking for something, but not going to find it. Both Hag and Mo out of mana. Meanwhile in middle, Probusk just taking his free farm 34-20 compared to his 6-0 Tundra. So even though Master hasn't been here for a long time, actually his Parasite's going to find this level 4 Tundra down here. Not going to be able to kill him, but plenty of harassment coming out. As he finishes a Blood Chalice there. Actually that was a Gauntlet maybe, yeah. It's Gauntlets, I think. No, it is Slaps. And up here in middle, they're looking for a kid. Chain reactions will come out onto Torture, or onto Zlap, but there's a Gauntlet Blast onto Torture, going to prevent a lot. Blood Chalice here. His delivered slap. Nice hook there as he activates the regen rune. And they're looking like they're trying to... Leech going to come out now, Parasite's dead. So that was a bit of a dive. As they were trying to go for that kill on Les QQ, just not enough. And Slapped paying for it as he takes tower damage plus the chain reaction stun. So nice combination though there as well there from Insania. And that will help even the game up. Slight lead here for the Legion side, but for the most part things are even. And that's actually rather impressive considering usually when you run a jungler versus a dual support lineup, the gold tends to be relatively even, but the experience swings heavily in favor of the jungler. In this situation, that's not what's happening. You know, Parasite's only at 147 GPM. He really hasn't spent that much time farming. He's basically just been ganking a lot, which is fine. You know, that's part of his job. Parasite is a gank-heavy jungle hero. Like, that's what he does. He doesn't even farm all that well. But perhaps spending a little too much time focusing on that and not enough focusing on trying to get his levels, trying to get his farm up, and he might pay for that later if he's unable to get a Codex in a relatively speedy manner. Up top, 8-minute rune going to be spawning and going to be contested actually as the Legion side brings everybody over. Hate's going to be bottled up here by Master of Arms as the bot refreshment rune is bottled by Pebbles, or just taken by Pebbles I think. Yeah, there's no bottle. So good rune control there coming out. A little bit of luck in favor of the Legion team, and very often things like that happen. You know, where the rune spawns, which rune you happen to go to, ends up being a really big deal. and that haste rune that is now bottled by Master of Arms and given to Probusk, of course, could turn into a kill, which could snowball, etc., etc. So we'll see how that effect comes in. On bot, meanwhile, Wretched Hag sitting here waiting for Grinix to get jumped. The question, of course, is if Grinix does get jumped, whether that'll matter. Master of Arms is here as well. Ripstock coming in from Grinix as they see that Shadow Step is going to be not available. So trying to get the stun there onto Pebbles, but not quite enough as they were feeling a little too much of a dive. And as I was saying, so 2 heroes over here, of course, but the question is, even if they have the support, is that going to be enough to save Grinix, or are they just going to get a counter kill? And I think if it's just the latter, it's not worth it so much to spend Flamesmeister's time just sitting here in the bottom lane. Pebbles, meanwhile, porting mid, hasted Gauntlet, but now he's going to take a bunch of damage thanks to the Sunshock and going to fall, so that haste rune not very good if he gets stunned. Parasite coming in from the side, going to take some Staccato stuns, looking for a face hug onto Pebbles. Pebbles going to take the Sono Scream and the Ripstock, but the Rhapsody ultimate actually going to go out and stop as face hug goes out onto him. Parasite going to fall. Pebbles still in a ton of trouble, and I'm going to follow the Sono Scream as both Tundra and Rhapsody are low but not going to die. So 2-for-1 engagement there in favor of the Hellborn side, taking both Gauntlet and Parasite in exchange for Pebbles. So Hellborn loses their top farmer, but so do Legion as well as the jungle Parasite. Certainly a trade in favor of the boys on NK. As Insane on this Torture going to grab some for him in middle. He's level 5, so doing pretty well on that. Rhapsody on Tankerpad actually doing even better, level 7. Keeping up with everybody. So that's pretty surprising, really, that the supports on the Hellborn side have really managed to stay at the same, similar, perhaps even better levels than the Legion side. They actually do have the experience advantage at this point. It is extremely slight, but once again, that's not something you usually see. Usually it's the jungle team that takes a significant experience advantage thanks to all that free farm in the woods. In this situation, though, not the case. So we'll see what dnL has to do to try to remedy the situation and get themselves back into the position they should be in running that jungler. Probusk on Gauntlet once again doing well as Zibe up top helps take out Hag. Jumps away. She has the Master's Call on her. That was Tundra initiation, of course, with the Avalanche. But that Warby is just a little too much. And boy, Blink is, that's why. Blink is level 1. She's level 2 Haunt, level 4 Sonar Scream, level 1 Blink. And she had level 2 Blink, level 3 Blink. She would have been able to Blink again over the Rage Shaker and been totally fine. But slightly greedy in the build, like looking for the damage more than the escape and the survivability, and as a result he will die. Torture now in some trouble, I think, as Gauntlet over here looking for an engagement. Master of Arms just sitting here waiting for something to happen. As Tort is going to get found here, maybe? Nope, just poured out actually, as both Master and, well, stopped on Master. Now, as a port going to come in from the Hellborn side, Tower died at the top thanks to Gauntlet, but Pebbles will come in looking for a kill on the Master, but not going to happen. As of course he saw that port coming in. So support unable to port, and it rhymes. They probably think that's a real Tundra as the grapple almost went out, but now they're going to spot the other one and assume that at least one of those is a fake, because yeah, they have to be. Counter warding going on here mid as Insania manages to grab a mid ward from the Legion side that actually just went down, so good de-warding there on their part. Stalagmite's going to miss Gauntlet, and that's going to prevent the initiation. Not sure they'd have enough damage actually. With Tundra there they would. So then again, Master's Call is available from Moa, so we'll see. And Stalagmite's missing once again, as hacks are in on that Pebbles, just having some issues landing his spells. Look at the GPM charts that I've had up for a while now. Warbeast up here on top, massively ahead of everybody. including his buddy Axerin, who's the second highest farmer in the game. 370 GPM for Zibe. So he's doing extremely well up here on top. He's got 90 and 27 CS. So Gauntlet's at 74, that's the second highest in the game, but Warbeast quite clearly out-farming pretty much everybody. It's a little interesting that he hasn't ceded this lane to somebody else, allowed them to farm, gone into the woods, where, you know, at this point, he does farm the woods quite quickly. Especially considering he already has an Abyssal Skull. It's no longer a problem for him. You know, the mana cost of various stuff, battle cries down to a 0 mana cost, so it's a little interesting that he hasn't chosen to go into the woods and let, you know, Rhapsody or Torture, primarily Torture, I would think, take this farm up top in the short lane and get some levels, get some money up, because it feels like they could do that. It's not like Hellborn are ignoring the jungle. They are doing a pretty good job of taking all the camps they can, but I would think that some more priority in lane would be given to Torture, as he obviously doesn't jungle, and therefore doesn't jungle nearly as well as Warbeast. Although it's sort of, you know, hard to say that decisions are bad, considering 3k gold lead for the Hellborn side on top of a 2k experience lead. And we really entered more of a passive stage here, as nothing really major has happened in the last few minutes. On bot, Pebbles and Torture looking down here for a jump onto Flensmeister's. Pebbles does have that portal key. Tundra's joining them as well as, yeah, actually, Illusionist Battle, so that's the real Tundra right there, of course. Gauntlet gonna find them, avalanche onto him, and Tundra's looking to get away, but very well might not. Haunt onto him. Torture has some support here, so does Pebbles with the portal key. Gauntlet Blast onto Tundra. Grinix actually finds Torture, and he's going to fall. Stun Chuck combo onto both of them, but Grinix going to run away as the Mo ultimate comes out. Les QQ on Tundra will fall. Pebbles in a ton of trouble as well. Zibe going to try to chase Grinix down, but not going to happen. Puts the Chuck onto Parasite, not going to be enough to kill him, of course, as Zibe runs away in that ultimate form. So 3 hero kills there in favor of the Legion side as they take a very nice engagement, losing nobody, and picking off a bunch of value here for the Hellborn side that made Tundra as well as Haxorin and Torture. So probably prefer to get Zebe here on this Warbeast, who is up to 405 gold per minute, but he's obviously extremely difficult to lock down, and they'll certainly take a 3 for nothing exchange any day of the week, regardless of who they get. Double damage rune on bot, going to be picked up by Hag, who has that bottle, so she can use that whenever she wants now. And top tower went down some time ago, I guess. It might have been while the bot fight was happening. Oh no, that was the deny, yes. That was forever ago. So Les QQ looking for some farm here, only at 194 GPM. Not that surprising considering he was dual laned with that Gauntlet Master of Arms, but you know, he got a couple of kills, he got some support at some points. Master of Arms went top for a long time. So perhaps looking for a little more farm there on the mid player here for NK, but we'll see if they can open some space for him, let him farm up. Rhapsody going to come in here on top of Grinix. Is there dust available? Yes, there is. So now he's in a ton of trouble. Shadow Step is going to be available, and he might be, yep, he's going to survive. So despite that Warbeast ultimate and that haste move speed, Grinix is also quite fast, which is, of course, one of the problems with Warbeast is he doesn't have a slow or a stun, so he can chase people down, but if the opposition is also really fast, you know, he can't necessarily always catch them. And really a nice counter to Warbeast is 1 stun and a lot of move speed. Acid Bomb here going to try to stop the middle push a little bit, and it will prevent them from taking this tower, but or at least right now. But they're still going to put a bunch of damage onto it. Gauntlet actually going to hook in Tundra as he tries to pour it out, and therefore is not successful. But the Dance Lord goes down once again as they clean up the creep waves with that and the Piercing Shards. Looking to finish off this mid tower, but Legion's not interested in just letting them have it. Portal key in from Gauntlet as Torture activates the Impalement. Now he's in some trouble. Infernal Instability going to help him run away. And Parasite and Grinix both here looking for an engagement onto somebody. Probably Insania on that Torture. And Viz DD Hag. Actually, as the DD will wear off right there. So Gauntlet going to jump in once again. Bat Blast, or Gauntlet Blast onto Torture. He just falls immediately, but a combo onto Probot here, and Gauntlet will fall. Grinix running away, just going to be enough. Rhapsody Ultimate going to do a lot to stop everything, but now she's going to fall. So pretty much all of Parasite's burst damage was mitigated there by Rhapsody Ultimate, but it actually ended up being Tankafet's death. As of course you just sit there channeling that ultimate and people are like, oh, kill that bitch. And now this is going to be a counter push here for the Legion side as they look to push in mid-tower, and they're going to get... This tower is going to fall whether they actually get a Glyph layer on as Slimites go out on top of Wretchtag, trying to lock her down. Not enough really there to kill her as the tower does get denied. Hawk is following her, but Tundra has really no way to catch this Hag. I guess she's just going to blink to the side. Piercing Charge not going to be in time. So Fundsmeister will be just fine. As his farm's really skyrocketed, 335 GPM, now overtaking his Gauntlet. All of a sudden he's doing extremely well. Warby's going to run away here, not a lot of health. Dance Floor goes down. He does not have the ultimate available, and that's going to be his death. Sakata stuns on a Parasite. They're not going to chase as Insania comes in here for backup, so Tankafet will be just fine. But Zebe is ult down for some reason, and that's going to be his death as he was not able to outrun the Legion team. So nice pick onto him. He's still out farming everybody. Over 100 GPM higher than the next highest farmer in the game. But, you know, the other thing about Warbeast, he needs items, man. He needs a lot of items. He needs that Shrunken Head, he needs that Abyssal Skull really to do much of anything. And then he's only extremely good if the other team isn't running away from him. So if it comes to a situation where, you know, team fight happens, he pops the ult, the Shrunken Head, and everybody in Legion just runs away, then, you know, he won't do too much. He sort of needs Basher to also stop that. And really the Legion side has plenty of getaways for that matter. Now Parasite can get into creeps, that Leech gives him a ton of move speed, Grinix is a similar thing with the Invis and the move speed, Hag has Blink, Gauntlet has Portal Key, so half a blink really. And Master of Arms is just screwed, but of course you can put the defensive Master's Call up onto somebody who is taking damage from Warbeast. Give them time to get away. Regen Rune on Hag is going to be popped, and so much Wind goes out there. Now this tower is going to be in deny range. 117 out of 1300 health, so we'll see if the Legion side, yep, I actually lean to deny it. Support taking care of that right there. As Hag finishes off the farm in the middle lane. So Fundsmeister up at 375 GPM. Has that Light Brand. Relatively close to the Grimoire. Should be 23, 24 minute Grimoire at this rate. So not bad timing at all on that. Usually before 25 minutes you want to have it. Obviously earlier the better, but I sort of feel like that's the timing there. If you can get it before 25 minutes, that's fine. If you can't, then you should be possibly going for something else. Because, of course, Grimoire does do plenty of damage, but it is more for Hag. It's more of a farming mechanism than anything else. As Tundra's free farming this middle lane, trying to recover a little bit here. 240 GPM still here, just ahead of Tankafet on that Rhapsody, and that's really not where you want to be. Like, if you're in the same vicinity as a support hero, even one that's been given some farm, as Tankafet clearly has. Let's see, what is he? 63 and 6 CS. That's almost as much as Tundra. So that explains why. It's that Dance Floor, yeah, going down, killing a bunch of here stuff with that Dance Floor. And, you know, Rhapsody over here doing pretty well. Steam Boots, Major Dud, and Mystic Vestments on top of Wards of Dust and stuff. As in middle, Les QQ falling. just a bunch of burst onto him with pretty much everything. Lots of counter initiation here, though. Hag gonna get jumped. Chain reactions on top of the stalagmites, but we'll see if she's able to survive. Yes, she is with the blink. Thank you. Rhapsody ultimately do a lot to save Pebbles there, but she falls pretty much immediately. This Hack's Ring comes down as well. Buyback onto Let's QQ as both he and Zibit pour in. So another 3-for-0 engagement there as Hack's Ring just barely able to survive with that blink. And they pick off 3 heroes on the Hellborn side. And now that Rhapsody has all that farm, it's really 3 heroes that have a fair bit of value. So Legion team now, a 10k experience lead. And there you go. That's what you usually see when you see a jungler versus a no jungle setup. It's just massively in favor of that the side with the jungler in terms of experience, and relatively even in terms of gold. So with a 13-7 hero kill lead, you know, 2,300 gold is not that surprising. It's not even that good, but certainly they'll take it on the Legion side. Usually you'd expect to see more GPM. This bot tower now is going to be in deny range, so we'll see if they actually go for this, and they will.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn
Bunch of
tower.
damage from that Hell Cannon thanks to Parasite taking it over, and he manages to grab the last hit. So all of Legion's tier 1 towers are dead, but there's still this top one up here for the Hellborn side at half health. And it looks like Hellborn are looking to jump into the jungle and take a fight here. Master of Arms caught out to the side a little bit. Puzzle Box minions will spot them, of course. Looking for that Hawk, as they'll just choose to steal the Legion jungle now instead of going for any picks, as the Legion team has backed the hell out. Of course, ward here and here, providing plenty of vision for the jungle. For some reason, they're really interested in killing this Puzzle Box Mauler, which does a bunch of damage. And less interested in the Wizard. So, actually a despawn. That didn't even give him any gold. That's really painful. Up top here, Pebble's going to defend the top tower a little bit, looking for Hag to jump in, as both she and Grinix are now. Pebbles is in some trouble. HoN there, and the Shadow Step, as the Stalagmites actually don't even hit anything. Let's QQ dies in the middle lane in the meantime. So let's see what happens there. Just Gauntlet and Parasite picking him off with the Master of Arms ult onto Gauntlet. So nice pick there, and this is going to be a top tower push. So I was just talking about how this top tower is still alive, and now it's not anymore.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Hacks are in there, sorry, Flensmeister up there, getting a ton of farm all of a sudden. 437 GPM just behind this Warbeast now, so Warbeast was way ahead of the pack. Yeah, get it? Because he's a dog. And now he's right up there with their opposition. Flensmeister on that Wretched Hag at 450 GPM just about. So it looks like there's going to be a fight for the alpha in this game. Warbeast holding a slim lead, as Wretched Hag is taking the opposing jungle, trying to boost herself up past that Warbeast. And that, of course, will help out a little bit. Torture coming in here to defend the top lane push and grab some farm off of it. Only 108 GPM, so he's not having the greatest game in the world. Poor Insania on that Torture. It's 1, 3, and 0, so that's not helping. And of course, Tankabek getting a fair amount of CS and resources, while Insania is just sort of sitting to the side going, and me? What about me? I'd like some. But not getting any. This team is just a bunch of bitches. Instead, warding up over here. Very aggressive ward, providing a lot of vision of the Legion side and their movement in their own little observatory area. Oh, there's a bridge there. I don't think I ever noticed that. Well, it's not a bridge, actually. It's a destroyed bridge. As Hellborn sort of looks like they're grouping up top to do something. Zibe over here, the last member of the team, to group up here, and there are triple stacked ancients, so... Sorry, these are double stacked. No, these are triple stacked. Yeah. So we'll see if they look to steal those, or if this is just going to be a top tower push. As Zibe is actually scattered out here by Grinix, who won't be able to kill him by himself, but if he gets support from one or two other heroes. Funzmeister up here on top, making sure the tower push is defended. And if Haxorn jumps in here, she just used a blink, but it's now going to be back because it's a short avalanche there as they're looking to jump Hag. Master's Call comes out, and she's still going to fall. So I guess they didn't realize exactly how much support there was in favor of the Hellborn side. Bound Eye on Rhapsody as well for that Grinix. Could end up being a problem. That's Puzzle Box 3 or 2 or something like that, so Parasite choosing not to go the Codex build, instead going Puzzle Box immediately. I think that was a Puzzle Box 3. And we'll see what he can do with that. Looking to scout some wards out, maybe, of course with True Vision. It is in need of help, Puzzle Box 3, so... Zlapt, not interested in going the super bursty route, more of the utility slash push. And of course being extremely annoying with that puzzle box mauler, try and get it in the middle of something and have the opposing team kill it, sort of by accident. That deals 800 damage, which is of course the same as a level 5 Codex. And I believe it's true damage as well, so it's a little harder to land, certainly not guaranteed, but if you can get it killed by the enemy team, then that's going to do a lot for you. I particularly like that strategy against Moon Queen. Of course, with the blades bouncing around everywhere, it's very hard for her to control what she's actually firing at. She can, just turn them off, but that will massively decrease her damage. And if she does accidentally kill that puzzle box bonus. So Shadow Step coming here onto Warbeast, looking to try to box him in to some extent, but there's the ultimate coming out. Torture's in here for support, and Warbeast is going to be totally fine. Meanwhile, over here in middle, a bunch of initiation onto Parasite, but the Gauntlet Blast hits 2. Master Arm's ultimate onto Parasite, going to prevent him from dying as he infests one of his own maulers, actually. Try to turn this around. Rhapsody there is an ultimate, but stopped immediately by the charge shot. Now, the Shrunken-Headed Gauntlet looking to try to get the hell out of here. Chain Reaction is not going to hit as the Shrunken is still up, but he's going to fall here. So nice kill there. Grinix coming in here with the Rift Stock, but there's a Bound Eye, so I don't understand what his plan is there. Now, he's going to fall. Not quite, actually, getting out there. Hag jumping in, doing plenty of damage. Grinix and Parasite both off to the side, not able to do much. So Tank Effect falls in exchange for Gauntlet. And there are probably a lot more heroes that should have died there. But it is slightly in favor of the Hellborn side, as Gauntlet is quite a bit more valuable than Rhapsody. And lots of Shrunken Heads all of a sudden. Everybody has one. Gauntlet's got one. Warbeast has got one. Portal keys all over the place. Initiation from everybody. So slightly in favor of the Hellborn team in that initiation, engagement there, but still overall a lead for denial. 5k gold, 13.5k experience, as the gold lead hasn't really expanded too much recently, but the experience lead's gotten a little bit bigger. And they're just doing a lot to outlevel their opponents at this point. Hag right up there with Warbeast in terms of gold per minute, but I believe, yes, massively out-experiencing everybody in the game, including Warbeast. He's actually also behind Parasite, and only just ahead of Grinix. So really the levels are adding up here on the side of the Legion, as Les QQ on Tundra looking a little scared, porting away. Warbeast's going to finish off some Ancients here. That'll boost his form up. Flensmeister's just trying to kill these stacks. So both teams sort of looking to win the farm game here, and Warbeast and Tag both strong farmers. So whether one really can massively outfarm the other is a question. Of course, considering the relative starts, Warbeast was way up there and Flensmeister was not. Suggests that Flensmeister has been outfarming Warbeast for the last maybe 10 minutes or so. And if this continues, he will obviously not stop doing that, and Warbeast will start to lag behind. Ultimate onto Gauntlet, but he just barely gets the Shrunken Head off. Not going to allow any further initiation. Grenix also has the Shrunken Head, but a nice Rhapsody ultimate preventing all sorts of damage. He is going to fall for that, and nobody on the Legion side dead yet. There's Flensmeister going down. Lots of death, or people close to death here on the Legion, as Tundra's going to barely fall there. Warbeast was chasing Master of Arms down, but won't fall. Actually, support going to pick off the Insania there on the other side. Haxman also falls. And they're looking for a port out here, and Zipe's not going to make it, so going to be a genocide there, actually, as Flensmeister buys out, and they're going to go straight for Kongor here. DD rune on Gauntlet, didn't even notice that, so 5-for-1 exchange there in favor of the Legion side, as Flensmeister was the only casualty, but he uses the buyout, comes right back in, helps out with another kill on Zipe, and this is going to be an easy Kongor kill for them. But that was really a nice reaction on Problusk's part, seeing Tundra jump in and getting the Shrunken Head off before he was able to grab the Avalanche. Of course, Superior Magic Stun means it's still going to do the stun part, but it doesn't do the damage, and it prevents Pebbles from further jumping on him, of course, because he knows that Select Bites and Shock won't affect a Magic Immune target, so he just decides that's not worth it. And it was really a situation where the Avalanche didn't make any difference, because by the time the stun wore off, the rest of his team was there, so Gauntlet basically just ate Tundra's ultimate, and the Hellborn team got nothing out of it. So nice play there, as Legion side has actually taken that to a pretty substantially expanded golden experience lead, 11k gold, 24k really experience. So that fight actually swung things pretty significantly, as large engagements are wont to do at this stage in the game, with everybody having piled up a bunch of gold and being worth relatively a lot more. Kills are obviously more valuable. So 21-10 hero kill lead here for the Legion side. Nobody on the Hellborn team is positive or even 500. 1, 4, and 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 6, 6, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. So really, not a super great game for anybody here on Hellborn, as Zibe is going to get found doing these Ancients, and he's going to have to pop the ult and run away. So Flensmeister's Ancients getting stolen, but he'll be able to finish them off here. Get a couple out of there, and he has now taken the GPM lead over Zibe on that Warbeast, of course, at 476 compared to 472. With 3 heroes on Legion side farming within 10 GPM of each other, so jump over here onto Rhapsody. She's going to take a bunch of damage. There's a Gauntlet Blast, and she's going to die very quickly. Pebbles coming in here, but Grenix Shrunken Head going off, and there's the Shadow Step actually not going to do anything because Pebbles also shrunken, but Insania going to die to everything. Zibe in a ton of trouble here. He has a Shrunken Head up, but doesn't matter. Right clicks are enough. Lescu also going to fall. Pebbles going to toss the Chuck out here. Token goes down on Hag, but Parasite's following him with the Muzzle Box Mauler, and there goes Gauntlet with actually Stalagmite's nice, going to stop everything. Infernal Instability is still going to be enough, and down goes Pebbles. Buyback on LesQQ again, so now he's out of buybacks, but not going to be able to do anything to help his team out. Gauntlet hooks himself back in, and this is going to be a top tower push, possibly a base push, I think, for the Legion side. So LesQQ now out of buyouts, and that's the dead top tower, as the Legion side have now taken a massive advantage, nearly 20k gold, 3,300 experience. They're just significantly out-leveling the other team. Level 22 Flensmeister compared to level 12 Insania, really the highest level on the opposing team, 16 for Zibe, and Flensmeister's nearly capped. I mean, even support there is level 14, which is right in the middle of the farmers and the supports here on the other side, and everybody else on the Legion side is out-leveling everybody on the Hellborn, so this experience lead here is no joke. . So Hellborn, I think at this point, they need to start getting some jumps of their own. It feels like every single engagement has been the Legion side jumping the Hellborn side, and never the other way around. Now, Hellborn doesn't have the greatest team fight either. Really, Tundra Pebbles, more gank-oriented. There's some AoE damage from Torture, but he has 130 GPM, so he just dies way too fast. He doesn't put out that much damage. Rhapsody has a similar problem. Gauntlet Blast onto a Torture as he's mostly going to get bursted down. Shrunken Head's coming off from everybody. Flesmites are going to get locked down a little bit, but Torture does fall in the background. Zibe going to kill Probots for being wild. Moa has the ultimate on the Flensmeister. Rhapsody ultimate going to get put down, but she's going to die as she just sits there channeling it. Bat Blast onto Pebbles. Another stun, actually, onto Flensmeister as he dies, but so does Pebbles. Zibe over here trying to get away, but they're certainly going to find him. Gauntlet Head coming in, and he's going to fall. So LesQQ manages to get out with the port, but everybody else on the Hellborn team dies. Flensmeister the only casualty for Legion. Sorry, Probosk was as well. He died, but he bought out. So another deny here by support on a mid tower. And it looks like Legion are going to push up the middle and try to take at least this mid-secondary tower, possibly more. But probably not too much more because LesQQ is still up. Torture's up in 5 seconds. Rhapsody's up in 10. With the glyph, this is probably going to be enough to prevent the base push.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
As Legion will back off. Especially without Flensmeister, they don't really want to do that. Instead, they'll just take the opposing team's jungle. So Parasite, of course, grabbing that bond, stealing it away from Rhapsody in the last engagement, I believe. And therefore, the Hellborn side will have some trouble detecting invisibility. Hawk over here is going to actually piercing charge do nothing, as Grenix took some weird stuff. I don't know. I think LesQQ just misclicked something there. It was pretty funny to see that come out. Dust's there, but obviously nobody there to be seen. As now Grenix is coming back in onto 3 heroes here. Actually, Hex and Torture just gets wrecked. Ultimate and stuff. So Shrunken Head from Grenix, so he's going to be fine. So poor Insania here now at 1-7-4, just getting destroyed. As Parasite decides to kill the Boundai. Of course, she has that puzzle box mauler, so that has true vision, and they don't really need it. Void Talisman now on Parasite. It's pretty interesting. Abyssal Skull finished up on the Master of Arms, so Grenix, Gauntlet, Parasite, all going to be very helpful for that. Plus, 15% bonus damage for Hag is going to be pretty nice. She's not so in need of the mana regen or the slight heal for that matter, but yeah. So both Parasite and Wretched Hag now sitting on sheep sticks, as their form has really skyrocketed. And you can tell, of course, the GPM chart. Borby's still pretty far up there, but that Legion triumvirate of Gauntlet, Parasite, and Grenix really all sitting just about the same GPM. Pebble's going to jump over here and get the stun onto Grenix, but he just pops a Shrunken Head. Plus there's a Bat Blast. That's nobody because of all the Shrunkens. Grenix getting locked down. He has the Master's Call. Just going to be able to survive here as Rhapsody goes down and Zippy falls as well. Shape Stick onto Pebbles. Excuse me. Too many damn key heroes. Mid tower now going to get heavily pushed in. We'll see if action looks to reinitiate. All his spells are up. But really, who's the target? Probably Master is the only one you can do significant damage to, but that's not that important to kill, and it's basically just going to turn into him dying for a Master of Arms. So mid-Rax goes down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we swing top. That's exactly what's going to happen. So Legion team looking right here to end it, and very possible they will do so. As on Hellborn, they're just a little too afraid to initiate. They know Zibe's dead for another 26 seconds, and there's not much they can do here. Jump onto Grenix, and he will actually die. But there's the Gauntlet Blast onto Pebbles, and now Pebbles in a ton of information. There's a sheep stick and everything. Rhapsody ultimate going to do a lot to save him, but now Rhapsody is the target, of course. And he wasn't close enough to LesQQ, so he took much damage. But ultimate onto Flensmeister there. He's still going to die, actually. Torture going to take down really fast. Flensmeister will fall. So there's Haxter instead as well. So everybody dead now here, except for Ziban, that Warbeast trying to kill something. Probably won't find anything, though, as Top Rax did survive. Shrunken Head popped to avoid the leech. So that was a pretty terrible decision now, as you won't have a Shrunken anymore, you won't have an ultimate in a few seconds, so top rack's now going to go down. As Gauntlet and Parasite realize, yeah, we can just do this, because you didn't bring anything. You used your Shrunken too early, you used your ultimate too early, and now we don't care about you anymore. So top and mid lane's now down for the Hellborn side, and I don't really see a way for them out of this at this point. They still have bot secondary tower, which is probably why not too much has gone in. Actually, this is deniable, so I don't know why this hasn't been denied yet. But, oh well. Maybe they're trying to bait it out or something like that. Hellborn's sticking in this for a good reason, I think. I mean, this is the last game of this 3-game series in the loser's bracket, so if they lose here, they're done in Diamond Cycle 10, but I don't really see a way for them to turn this into a win anymore. So the whole Legion team is now back up. Lots of gold pooled up, as they have just everything. Pretty much everybody has over 2,000 gold saved up, just to make sure that they've got a buyout if they get picked off. Krennic's going to hear open onto Torturer, and then there's a Shadow Step. There's a Shrunken Head, so he's just going to kill Torturer. Nope, actually Avalanche comes out on top, and there's the kill on Torturer thanks to Sono Scream. Krennic's now going to turn this around, despite being really low. He does still have the Master's Call on him. Flensmeister's going to be in some trouble. He'll be able to get away. Zibe Shrunken Head wearing off. Face hug onto the double Sheepstick Tundra there. Bat Bless hits 2. Tank and LesQQ both going to die, actually. LesQQ gets denied, so nice. There's a GG well plays in that game. So, good series. All 3 games really going quite a while, and a good showing from both teams, but in the end, denial just a little bit too strong for NK. Not that surprising. NK, relatively new team. Didn't seem like they were really taking all those team fights very well, and as a result, they're going to lose the game because you basically need to take some team fights at least. And they were just always getting initiated on. They were never the ones jumping. It seemed like they didn't have enough team fight presence anyway. Neither did the Legion side, but at least they had more burst damage than the Hellborn did, so they were able to get in there, get picks off relatively quickly. And then, of course, there was the issue of Flensmeister just getting way too much farm. He was allowed to have too much room, and eventually he just became unstoppable, especially compared to that Warbeast, who really kind of stagnated, got to a good mid-game, and never really took off past then. So, nicely played from Dwellers in Denial, but also from the NK side as well. So, a good series, and Denial will take it 2 games to 1, so we'll see you for the next one.